Despite the attention from defenders, the goals kept on coming. By November 1969, Pelé had scored an incredible 999. He got his chance to make history as Santos played against Vasco da Gama in Rio's cathedral of football, the Maracanã. With 13 minutes remaining, Santos were awarded a penalty.
I looked around and everyone was shouting, "Pelé," and my legs started shaking. So I thought, oh my God, I can't miss this penalty. Please don't let me miss. Thankfully the goal came, and today it stands at 1,282 goals.
In 1970, Pelé was back with the national team preparing for his fourth World Cup in Mexico. He was only 29, but was now the veteran of the side and the only remaining member of the victorious 58 and 62 teams.
We had a very well organised team. We played with virtually the same team throughout all the qualifying games, so we knew each other very well and how to play together.
Yet if one player was going to stand out in that team, it had to be Pelé. In Brazil's opening game against Czechoslovakia, he played with vigour, determination and imagination, lifting his teammates to a 4-1 win. Brazil had laid down their marker for the rest of the competition, and Pelé appeared destined to leave the global stage on a high. Pelé knew the significance of 1970. This was his final chance to be the star.
From an individual point of view, I think 1970 was Pelé's greatest ever World Cup. He was so intelligent. He played for the team, but obviously still with his characteristic ability for those flashes of individual brilliance.
As Brazil progressed to the final, Pelé knew his moment had come. A win would confirm his status as the greatest of them all. But even the greats feel pressure. Even the greats have moments of self-doubt.
When we were just about to arrive at the stadium and looked out of the window and saw all us Brazilians and Mexicans with the Brazil flag shouting, I wanted to stop crying, but I couldn't. I tried to hide it as I was the oldest and most experienced player.
This was the first World Cup broadcast in colour, when the yellow shirts of Brazil, shimmering in the Mexican sun, took on their mythical status. And this was the final that was a testament to some of the finest football ever played by perhaps the finest national team ever to grace the game. On such an occasion, there could only ever have been one man to open the scoring.
I'd scored a header against Sweden in my very first World Cup, and then I scored again with my head in my farewell game against Italy, as a world champion. So it was fantastic.
Despite an Italian equaliser, Brazil took control of the game. Their efforts were soon rewarded. With just 5 minutes remaining, there was still time for Brazil to add one more.
I think the final against Italy was perhaps the easiest game of the World Cup for us.
When the ball came and I saw Facchetti follow Jairzinho inside, all I had to do was control it and roll it to the side as I knew what was happening. I didn't even look. I didn't need to. I knew that Carlos Alberto was making the run.
12 years after winning his first World Cup, Pelé could now celebrate a record third victory. No longer just the king of Brazil, Pelé was the king of the world. The Brazil side of 1970 had perfectly captured the essence of the beautiful game inside Mexico's Azteca Stadium. And key to it all was their eternal number 10.
I prepared myself really well for it, and it was the World Cup of my life, undoubtedly. It was my best ever year, and as a farewell, I just have to thank God. My father always told me, football is a gift from God. And God gave you this gift, just as He gives a song to a musician or a singer. So you have to take care of your health, how you prepare yourself. You always have to respect your opponent. And if you do all that, then you'll be a great player, and no one will stop you.
After 92 games and 77 goals, Pelé decided to call time on his international career a year later. And back in Santos, he knew his playing days were drawing to a close. After 18 years of loyal service, he played his final game for his beloved club in September 1974. His next decision took everybody by surprise. He went to America and signed for New York Cosmos. The goals still came easily, and he even helped the Cosmos to an NASL title in 1977. But his main success was in the development of the game in the US. His fame and global appeal ensured that football became one of the country's most popular sports, an appropriate legacy at the end of a glittering career. Since his retirement, Pelé has become an ambassador for the game, a whirlwind of pace and power on the field. intelligent yet humble off it, Pelé transcends the game of football.
Pelé's star will never burn out, because even after all these years, Pelé is still shining wherever he goes.
He was the complete player. You can't say a man with 1,300 goals is a weakness. He has to be the best.
Edson Arantes do Nascimento. Pelé. More than just a name, more than just a footballer.